All right, welcome back to Business Live. Those were the summaries for you, news from Ghana and around the world. Let's move on to some other stories you're following for you tonight. The Social Security and National Insurance Trust, NIT, has adjusted the earnings for contributors by 11% across board for all beneficiaries on the pension scheme. This, however, translates into an 11% for high earners and about 15% for low earners. This review follows commitment by the board of SNIT to ensure the welfare of contributors.
Salary growth of active contributors, annual average change in the consumer price index and financial implication on the fund were factors that led to the adjustment. The rate is now pegged at 11% with 9% as fixed rate and 2% being redistributed as a flat amount of 15.89 Ghana cedis to benefit those earning lower pensions. Director General of the SNIT, Dr. John Ofori-Tenkrang, said the new minimum monthly pension rate, which is 300 Ghana cedis, is more than the current minimum wage of the country.
The increment is that the overall indexation amount is 11%, meaning whatever we paid last year in total, we take 11% of that and we're going to add it to what we paid last year, right? And so, and that overall indexation of 11% is then redistributed. We are redistributing it in such a way that everybody gets a 9% increment across board, and then the other 2% we translate that into cedis, and I think that works out to be about 15 cedis, 89 pesos, and everybody gets that too.
Meanwhile, the extra cost to be incurred by the trust for existing pensioners in 2019 is 212 million Ghana cedis. Dr. Tenkrang explains the rationale behind the adjustment.
The way our system works, the pension that you get is determined by what your best 3 years of salary was. And so what happens then is that, in effect, you get what you put in, right? And so people who are very high earners, they get high pensions, and people who are low earners get low pensions. You know, salaries in general in Ghana are pretty low. So what you find out is that a lot of our pensioners are low earning. And so what we try to do is to, within the law, do a redistribution so that the lower earning pensioners see a much more of a better uplift in their pensions than the high earners. But we have to do it in such a way that everybody's purchasing power is maintained.
Two subsidiaries of the trust, Ghana Agro Foods Company Limited and Gulf Consolidated Limited, have also presented a shareholding advance and a dividend respectively to the management of SNIT. Ebenezer Sabate's report for Joy Business.
4 more people have been picked up by the Ashanti Regional Police Department in connection with the demonstration carried out by some customers of gold dealership firm Men's Gold. This brings the number of arrests made to 7 so far. Our Ashanti Regional correspondent Prince Apia is joining us for a live update. Prince, if you can hear me, what's the latest from where you are?
Yes, it is against the Public Order Act. What is more against the Public Order Act than when 1.8 million Ghanaians are dying, and we claim that because of Public Order Act, we should sit down and just watch.
Just last week, somebody died at Kaswa.
You don't worry. I'm coming. Why must we sit down there? The laws were made for with people. It's not Ghanaians. The laws are made to govern Ghanaians and to protect us. And when we did peaceful demonstration, when we petitioned even the IWOCO, IGP, and all the major key stakeholders in this country, including the president, we didn't get any results. So they shouldn't sit down there and tell us that if the government and the key institution, they don't act on this issue, you just fold our arms and watch, thinking that we have to come and seek, our money will go down the drain and we'll come to seek permit from police. It will not happen again.
Actually, we are doing this protest to remind, because there has been a lot of petition all around, from Accra, Parliament, Information Ministry, even Otumfuo himself. This is the second, we've given Otumfuo second petition. So this protest was to be a reminder, not a demonstration. It's a peaceful reminder that we just want to tell Otumfuo to step in, because we've petitioned him and then we're expecting him, to actually step in and then talk to the Nana Apia Mensa and then pay us, because our monies, our investment are with them. And then from August, not even one extra value to any person.
My reason for this protest is when Mama was in power, Men's Gold was working. And when Nanado came, he just stopped it. And we have voted to create employment for him, his family, Data Bank, the finance minister, he's his brother. And so we have created employment for them. They are chopping. And he has stopped us from eating. So that is all. And we are going to make sure people who have invested in Men's Gold are more than 1 million. And Nanado beat Mama about 1 billion. So we are all going to vote against him. So that is all. We need our money. She should allow him to come and work so that we get our money.
There are sanctions. There are implications to that. So we have to identify the leaders, call them, and then the necessary processes will be taken. So for now, we'll leave it here for now. We'll be able to identify the leader. We'll call them. Since they are threatening to embark on the demonstration, this time I would want them to use the appropriate channel or go through the necessary processes. So we'll definitely be inviting the leaders, because we came, we tried identifying the leaders as they claim, but we did not identify even a single person.
Have you arrested anybody?
My understanding is 3 persons have been arrested, but I'm yet to confirm that.
All right, so those are visuals from Kumasi in relation to that demonstration we have been reporting today. Hopefully we'll get a better connection to Prince Apia and have the latest from there. As you understand right now, 7 people have been arrested. You're watching Business Live. We're taking a short break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Business Live. We are following developments in Kumasi today as several Men's Gold customers demonstrated. The latest we have on that is that 7 were arrested by the police. Joining us from Kumasi is Prince Apia with the latest. Run us through today's events. Hello, Prince. Can you hear me, Prince? All right, so what's been taking place today, really? All right, we'll go back to Prince Apia when we are able to establish a better connection. Once again, to recap, several customers of Men's Gold have been demonstrating today, calling for a refund of their investments. We know right now that the central bank has said they cannot intervene. We'll hopefully get back to Prince for the latest. Let's move on to other news stories. Tonight, Executive Director of the Kumasi Institute of Technology and Environment, Ishmael Ejekumhene, has cautioned that failure by government to expedite work on gas infrastructure to serve the second car power ship expected to be relocated to the western region will have negative implications. He criticized government for not going according to the plan of development presented by NE as prescribed by law. He's also advising government to work to avert such occurrences in the future.
Obviously, there are some implications, and I'm not even sure what the minister told us is as straightforward as he's making it look like. But because I haven't studied the contract, I wouldn't be able to comment on that. But obviously, it is always it's not right for us to allow the people to develop the fields whilst we were slow. Just like the Ghana gas situation where the Jubilee field was ready and we're flaring the gas. Let's make sure that going into the future, these developments are happening in parallel. We ask them to submit what we call plan of development. So we know their schedule. Okay, as a country, we know the timelines they were using to develop the Sankofa gas fields. We know. It's not something that is hidden. We should know, because they have a plan of development, they need to stick to that. What stops us from also taking the necessary steps to make sure that, but if you consider the fact that the gas, the E&I contract was signed in 2015, and the 2016 was the election year, if the previous administration never wasn't able to seal the deal, you should expect that the transitional period is going to occasion some delay. And I think what was well within our means was the movement of the car power to the Western Corridor that probably delayed. And I don't really understand why the delay, because we've always known that Sankofa, the car power, was supposed to be one of the major off-takers of the Sankofa gas.
All right, this is Business Live. We are taking a short break. We're back with our main story for tonight.
Welcome back to Business Live. To our main story tonight. GN Bank says it does not expect the reclassification of its status to affect its operations. The bank last week requested the Bank of Ghana to reclassify its operations following the inability to meet the 400 million cedis minimum capital requirement. Becoming a savings and loans company will now limit the bank in check clearing and operating foreign deposit accounts. But GN insists this would not limit the impact on its dealings. Frank Owusu Ofori speaks for the GN Bank, and he joins me now in the studio for a discussion. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
So first of all, let's start. You said you were successful when you were operating as a savings and loans company.
Yes.
And so why did you then move into banking if you were that successful?
No, the scenarios are different.
Right.
I mean, we've operated as a savings and loan for 8 years. The capital requirement then to be a bank was also different from the capital requirement now. So the shareholders, management, and directors analyze the situation. And you know, GN Bank is the people's bank. If you look at our clientele, we are a Main Street bank. We are not a high street bank. Our clientele.
But nobody actually forced you to do banking. If you knew you were the people's bank and you could deal with them.
That's exactly what I've explained. The situations are different.
Because
then you didn't need 400 million
as
startup capital, as minimum capital requirements to become a bank. But now that is what you need. So there's a clear difference between the two. So we cannot compare why we moved from a savings and loan to become a bank and now the current conditions to become a bank, a universal bank. So that's what I'm saying, the two scenarios. And our clientele base, our 1.2 million customers, it's not going to affect them. The person in Timpane, in Navongo, in Arelugu, in the northern region, in Jirapa, you know, all they care is they put their money there, they come down to South, or they go to Omina, or they go to Boahafo, Techima, Beku, and they have access to it.
So will you then say that the banking field was tough for you as an organization?
We would not say that, because when GN Bank came into the bank in the financial sector, at that time the unbanked population was about 80%.
Okay.
With our 300 locations, we've reduced it to about 50%. And we control about 20% of Ghana's banking retail outlets. So we've clearly done a yeoman's job in the banking sector.
So it wasn't tough for you after all?
No. I mean, we're cool. We're very cool. And that's why we know our terrain. We know what we are good at. We've been savings and loan for 8 good years. And we are coming back. So we even want to use your medium to thank our customers for keeping faith with us. In fact, it would even amaze you that when we were going on tour, I was on tour with our group president, the board chairman for GM Bank, Dr. Pakwesi. We went to all the regions. Some of the customers even advocating that, oh, doctor, please work around the clock to make sure that whatever comes after 35, you will still be there. So if you realize our message we're saying, we're telling them that no matter what happens, GN Bank will still be there because they know that we are the people's bank.
Okay, so with the current change in your operational status, it means that you're going to lose your foreign currency deposits. Does that further deepen your liquidity issues if you should move on? Because obviously you're not taking foreign currency deposits. No, but I just want to know if that, because you're not going to do forex trading anymore.
The impact of that compared to us if we had taken the foreign investors, because we clearly stated and released that we had foreign investors who wanted to support. And some of the conditions that we're going to come with was we're going to let go of our mobile bankers, over 1,000 people. You know, Ghanaian banking is different from the other banking. We operate a retail. One person goes and it's about 50 people. So if about 1,000 mobile bankers have to go, so if GM Bank wants to be greedy, doesn't think about the Ghanaian out there, doesn't think about you and I, and we say, well, we will take that money, and then all because we want to meet the minimum capital requirement and push people and lay people off, the unemployment situation is going to go up in the country. So we've taken this decision in the best interest, with the Ghanaian at heart, with you and I at heart. And that's why people have been calling us, even congratulating the board chairman for the bold decision he's taking, because it's not everybody who will do that.
One other issue, you have a wide branch network, and obviously that's going to come at a cost to your operations. Are you thinking of consolidating some of your branches? I know even along my village, I can see about 5, 6 of your branches on my way. You don't want to consolidate to be able to strengthen?
We can assure, that's what I said, we know the plan. We can assure all our customers that all our 300 branches will still remain open. Today, all
Is that necessary?
Yes, it's still necessary.
As a savings and loans
It's still necessary
company?
because there are still traders there, there are still market women there, there are still students there, there are still professionals there. So if we decide to close them, we are removing them from this financial inclusion that we are talking about. So all of these people need to be part of the financial inclusion. So everybody will be there. All the branches of GM Bank will remain open.
So have you been engaging your customers so far, and what's their reaction to the news? Or you said some of them spoke to you and they've asked for this actually.
Yes.
But after the downgrading, what has been
the reclassification?
The reclassification, I should put it that, not downgrading.
Yes, no,
so,
not downgrading.
all right. So after the reclassification, what has been their response? What have they been hearing from them? If you have engaged them in the first place?
Yes, we've engaged them. I mean, some of them are very grateful that we even listened to them to come back to savings and loans. And they've pledged their support to be with us, because you see, some of them even feel intimidated with the way the others practice their form of banking. But they know we are there for them, we understand their needs, we meet them. I mean, GN Bank's major niche is a combination of traditional banking with micro enterprise. So we have a two combination, which makes us unique and different. So that's what the people like about us.
All right, thank you so much, Franz. Owusu Ofori speaks for GN Savings and Loans, not the bank, actually.
Yes.
I should put it, but that's how we wrap up tonight on Business Live with me and Daryl. And thanks so much for watching. But for more news, do log on to our website, myjoyonline.com/business for more business stories. Thanks so much for watching.